Here in this video we shall showcase all the fights between Titans and other large sub-Titans in the Monsterverse, and we shall do the ranking on our own, since all we saw in Godzilla vs Kong was a list in the beginning that every Titan except for Kong and Godzilla were listed as defeated. So if you're wondering about which ones were more powerful than which Titans, then watch on, since we will show you all the fights and who are the winners and the losers of each battle. Anyway, do hit that subscribe button to be a part of the MindQ family. And now, let's get down with the sickness. Mutoprime vs Dagon. Chronologically, this is the first battle to be documented, and this was the Mutoprime versus a member of Godzilla's species called Dagon. It was supposedly intense but ended in the Mutoprime dominating it and laying its egg inside the body of the defeated Gojira. Godzilla vs Shinomura. This fight between these two titans spanned for years. So in 1945, Shinomura awakened due to a Hiroshima bombing and then was quickly engaged by Godzilla, but it wasn't till 1954 that Godzilla managed to kill one of the two Shinomura swarms after one was killed by the hydrogen bombs detonated in the Bikini Atoll. So Godzilla won this one. Kong vs the Maya Squid. As we have seen in Kong Skull Island, the Maya Squid is a gigantic cephalopod creature of Skull Island and attacked a young adolescent Kong, which caught him by surprise, but was quickly dispatched and became food for the giant ape. The Maya Squid is as long as Kong was tall, and this was Kong's first win. Kong vs Skullcrawlers. Later in the same movie, Kong came into contact with the other Skullcrawlers, but easily beat them without even breaking a sweat, but had a tough time fighting the big one, and was nearly killed if it wasn't for the help of humans. But he later ripped the guts out of the mouth of the Skullcrawler and secured the win. The Mutomale vs Godzilla. Obviously the fight between the smaller Hawk Muto and Godzilla was gonna come out as a sure win for the G-Man, but it took quite a long time for him to kill the Flying Titan. The battle went on from the evening till late night, and finally ended when Godzilla slammed the male Muto into a skyscraper with his tail. The Muto female vs Godzilla. Well, the female Muto was bigger and more powerful than the male, but was not capable of flying, so the one-on-one fight with Godzilla was easily on the side of the G-Man. However, Godzilla was overwhelmed when both of them ganged up on him. Anyway, he did still manage to kill the female Muto in the end with a move called the Kiss of Death. Godzilla vs the Muto Prime. In Aftershock, Godzilla fights the Prime and was nearly overpowered if not for humans distracting the Muto Prime, and this allowing Godzilla to release a massive nuclear pulse from his dorsal plates, sending the Prime soaring into the air and causing his limbs to break off, and then Godzilla crushes her head with a devastating stomp, killing her. Godzilla vs the Mark Jaeger. Regarding this monster battle, not much is known but for the fact that the Mark Jaeger was killed and it bore a huge scarred wound on its body, which was possibly caused by a powerful atomic breath, and with her skeleton showing a jagged rift running from her neck to her abdomen. So this is another win for Godzilla. Rodan vs Ghidorah. The Rodan vs Ghidorah fight was one of the most epic duels in the Monsterverse, and it had been dragged on in the hopes of many for decades. When it happened, the smaller Rodan did put up quite a fight against Monster Zero, but due to its bigger size and the gravity beams, Ghidorah was able to overpower him after a brief battle, sending Rodan down from the skies into the ocean. Godzilla vs Ghidorah. Ghidorah and Godzilla engaged in 3 battles over the course of KOTM. Firstly in Antarctica, which ended in a stalemate. Second was to the advantage of Godzilla off the coast of Mexico in the ocean. Then lastly in Boston, where Godzilla in the end transformed into his burning form, ending Monster Zero with 3 nuclear pulses and also vaporizing his head with an atomic breath. Titanus Amhuluk vs Behemoth. Titanus Amhuluk is a massive demonic looking mammalian titan, being black in coloration with 10 yellow eyes that lack pupils, and he kinda looks like a tree. He battles Behemoth in an attempt to get control of the Amazon and manages to overpower Behemoth after a lengthy battle, with both sides getting good shots on the other. Godzilla vs Titanus Amhuluk. In the battle between Behemoth and Amhuluk, Godzilla sees the good that Behemoth could do to the environment and intervenes in the battle, which leads him to face Amhuluk. Amhuluk lunges after Godzilla but is quickly overpowered and was forced to submit. Godzilla vs Scylla. In Dominion, Scylla is first seen attacking a ship carrying a nuclear weapon off the coast of Savannah, Georgia. Godzilla then finds her, and after a quick battle, he kicks her and forces her to flee to an island near the tip of South America before hibernating in its freezing lake. Godzilla vs. Janitor. Janitor greatly resembles a Dunkleosteus. Its body is blue and it has red fins with 2 arms ending in claws. Its massive inner bony plates jut outwards from its mouth. In Dominion, Godzilla battles a swarm of these fish creatures and kills the leader called Janitor by tearing it in half and ripping off the entire skeleton. Godzilla vs. Tiamat. Titanus Tiamat appears as a rival titan who fights Godzilla shortly after she took over one of Godzilla's old layers in Godzilla Dominion. After a short yet intense battle and Tiamat getting a brief advantage underwater, Godzilla manages to overcome Tiamat and sends her into dormancy along with the other titans after sensing vestiges of Ghidorah. Kong vs. Camazotz. In Kingdom Kong, Camazotz was awakened by humans digging towards the Hollow Earth portal, and this ended in him arising and battling Kong, getting a prior advantage over the giant ape, until it was distracted by a jet fighter, which allowed Kong to pummel the bat to near death and sending it back into the cave with a punch. Kong vs. Warbats. In Godzilla vs. Kong in the Hollow Earth sequence, Kong came into contact with 2 snake titans called Warbats, and while one was killed instantly, the other Warbat got to strangle Kong like a python, but was stopped by the HEAVs, allowing Kong to gain momentum and kill it, and then later eating its brain. Mechagodzilla vs. the Skullcrawler. Well, this battle was quick. The Skullcrawler had no chance in hell. The mecha grabbed the Skullcrawler's hands and spread it apart, and then fired its proton scream beam, which burned right through the head and sliced the titan into 2 right through the spine. Godzilla vs. Kong. These 2 titans had a couple of battles, and in both of them Godzilla won, fair and square. The first was in the ocean where Kong was saved by humans firing depth charges, and in a Hong Kong battle, the first round was won by Kong, but in the second round Godzilla got the upper hand and nearly killed the big ape. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. After the battle with Kong, an exhausted Godzilla faces Mechagodzilla and was beaten mercilessly by the fully powered mecha. Even during the power beam duel, the proton scream pushed back the atomic breath, and then the mecha nearly killed Godzilla using the kiss of death. And the last battle, Kong and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Well, this is the final battle of the Monsterverse chronologically and so far till the next sequel, and it happened right after Godzilla was about to be killed. It was a 2-on-1 battle, Godzilla and Kong versus the mecha. Although they outnumber him, he did still manage to hold his own, but was later killed and torn to shreds by the combined power of the atomic breath and a battle axe. And so with that we come to the end of this list of all the battles in the Monsterverse between titans and other titans, and we got to know who won against whom and who are the losers. Anyway, do remember to like for support and click that subscribe button to be a part of the MindQ family, and hit that bell button for regular updates on monster videos right here on MindQ. Take care, fam.